once again, Skoronski. Well, Skoronski's your top guy, but he's also is he there because he's also got some versatility that you like?
That's part of his grade. I see Zach Barn in him. I do want to see him get a shot at right tackle or left tackle even, but that's going to be based on the situation he gets drafted into. If you already have a tackle or two on your team, you put him inside and you have Zach Martin for the next 10 years, you can't be upset by that.
Top 10. Who could be in the top 10 in that group?
Which tackles can be in the top 10?
Top 10 tackles.
For Derek Jones is kind of like my leader in the clubhouse for the Bears at 9. I think that pick makes a lot of sense. I think he's the only other one that I would see get taken in the top 10. I think Paris Johnson, Matthew Bergeron are more teens, 20s type guys.
Okay. And then when you're taking a look at anybody outside the top 10 that's not on your rankings, give me a player or two that you think could become a really good player at the next level.
I would say the one that I feel really good about is Asim Richards from North Carolina, a guy that's gotten better every single year, but still played 3 years at North Carolina, has a lot of experience under his belt. His tape in 2022 was very good against his best competition. Might make a move inside, but I think he brings that inside versatility. A shot in the dark here that I love on tape. I thought he was one of the bigger combine snubs is Kadeem Telfort from UAB. An unbelievable drive blocker with the best length, the best combination of power and length in this entire class. I think he had something like 36 or 37-inch wingspan arms, and you saw things started to click this past year that he understood how to use them, and he gets movement off the ball as well as any tackle in this group.
A couple of interesting guys I like in that grouping is Blake Freeland and Braden Daniels. Those are a couple of guys.
Freeland is a freak athlete, a huge track background, and it kind of I've heard the name Brian O'Neill mentioned, right tackle from Minnesota.
That's a nice career. Yeah.
Kind of came into the league as better athlete than football player. Colton Miller, same situation from UCLA, drafted by the Raiders. Took him a while to get acclimated and developed, but everyone's looking for offensive linemen. And when you're talking about a physical package, Freeland has it all. He just has a few things that are coachable that need to be fixed.
All right. Offensive guard. And Torrance is the clear number 1. Is he the only guard that gets drafted in the first round?
Avila's got a shot because of the versatility he brings to the table. He's, I actually think you can make a case. Remember, this kid played center in 2021. That was his spot. It wasn't a part-time position for him. And the center group, I like from a second, third, fourth round perspective. Avila, if you said, hey, put him in the center stack, I think he's better than those guys. And the fact that he could also play guard, that might get him drafted at the first round.
And the kid from North Dakota State, what do you like about him?
Just unbelievably gifted as an athlete, still very new to the position, but he's playing it like he's played for 15 years. I mean, the kid didn't even play real high school football where he came from. And then he was a defensive end and a tight end. I mean, he played tackle for just a couple of years, and he goes to the Senior Bowl. Now he's bringing this position versatility to the table that no one else does. Some guys think he's going to be a center. So you're talking a college tackle that is athletic enough to play there, that played majority guard at Senior Bowl, that some teams think could play center. You love that. You love that combination, and just a fun kid to watch play football.
By the way, the kid Voorhees from USC, he's dealing with an injury, correct?
Tore his ACL. I was watching it live during a drill at the Combine. So you're looking at a March torn ACL for an offensive lineman that did have some early career durability issues in his lower body already, that my guess he won't be on the field until 2024.
So where does he get drafted?
That's a good question. I had him as the 3rd rounder originally. I bumped him down to the 5th. That's where I think he'll go somewhere. He'll get drafted. He's a starting caliber kid dude, but you're going to redshirt him for a year, and he's an older rookie too. I think he's going to be 26 when he gets onto the field.
Yeah, that's a Pro Football Focus's pet offensive lineman the last few years.
It is, yeah.
I just love the kid.
Yeah, very productive. Some of his movement traits aren't ideal. He's a big boy that struggles with leverage, and now you're talking about a lower body injury for the second time in his career. It's going to cause some concern.
All right, and then we wrap it all up with the center position, and John Michael Schmitz, without a doubt, the number 1 center in the class.
I wouldn't say without a doubt. He's my number 1. I don't think that's consensus.
Okay.
And Schmitz, Tittman, and Whippler, these guys all have the same grade on my sheet, and I think they're going to go based on what scheme is drafting them. If you want
just those top three.
Just those top three. And Schmitz is hit the weakness, the dent in his armor. He's good. He's a good athlete in short spaces, but if you're an outside zone team and he really needs to get across the three technique and get there in a hurry with balance and control, I don't see it there. Tippmann, not the ideal body type because he's so tall. He might even make a move to guard at the next level, but him and Whippler are much better at that lateral movement, those first 2-3 steps when they have to move laterally. But Schmitz is the best at holding an anchor and really, being face up against a big nose tackle. I trust him in that situation. I also just trust the intelligence factor there. I think he's a leader. He's going to be a week one starter, Creed Humphrey type, just like, hey, we don't really need to worry about it. I just think the upside is going to be a little limited there.
Yeah, and I mentioned before, and I don't just talk about one of my two favorite teams very often, unless I really mean it. But I do like the kid, the Virginia transfer, Oluwatimi. I think he's got a really good shot. Definitely, I think he's going to be around a long time as a starting center. Now, how good he could be, we'll see. But yeah, he's more of the power type, right?
Definitely more of the power type. And some teams, that's what they want. So you could see him go in front of a Luke Whippler type just because of that fact alone. Whippler did hold his own against Jalen Carter when Ohio State played against Georgia. That was a standout to me. But Oluwatimi, a ton of experience, smart, leader, and just he's a tree trunk. Like, you're not going to that guy is going to hold the fort down. I just don't know if he can reach all the points, second level and against the three technique. It caused a little bit of concern there, but you can scheme around that, and some teams do.
By the way, as we close out, I just want to let everybody know this is a tip because it happened last year to me. This is perfect, right? You talk about the zone centers and how they get to fit in with the NFL, and you know that if an NFL team runs a power game or they're not taking that zone center, it's all been thrown away after what the Philadelphia Eagles did. Actually, not the Eagles. It was Ravens did drafting Linderbaum. So it was okay. But it worked, and that's the thing. That's why Baltimore's Baltimore. That's why they know how to draft. You draft the talent, you figure it out later.
Yep. Some teams do that much better than others. I agree. When I saw him go to Baltimore, I was surprised, but it was also like they just know what they're doing. They know. They built an entire offense around Lamar Jackson. Look what he wins an MVP, right? That wouldn't have happened if he played anywhere else, maybe. So some teams do that much better, and it's funny. The best teams in the NFL, that's a big part of their system, is they draft the best football players, and then they just manufacture the scheme, tweak things here and there to make it work.